For more than 20 years, Andrew de la Peña has lived his life with the heart from another human being. It was December 1986. A transplant team from Stanford Medical Center stepped off an elevator at St. Luke's Hospital in Fargo. Those organs they were transporting came from a 4-month-old named Michael, a victim of crib death. The team hoped to get Michael's heart to Andrew in California in time to make the life-saving transplant. When their Learjet failed to start at Hector Airport, a desperate call was made to then-Governor George Sinner. Sinner suggested using one of the state's Air Guard jets, which was on alert. The jet, piloted by Colonel Bob Beckland, raced westward, making a quick pit stop for gas in Utah before finally touching down in California. Even though the odds were against them, doctors completed the transplant and hoped for the best.
It's an amazing story. Wow. Little did everyone know, 20 years after that surgery that Andrew would be part of a celebration in Fargo at the Air Museum. And now Andrew, at 32 years old, is back in town to honor those involved in the F4 Hooligans heart flight that saved his life so many years ago.
I love that story. Andrew, welcome back.
Thank you so much. It's really nice to be back in Fargo.
I want to know, what comes over you emotionally when you see that?
Yeah, it's really, it's intense. I don't get to see those kind of, the images of the footage all the time back then. So yeah, it's emotional. You know, without that F4 and the general and the transplant team and who was lieutenant at the time who flew my heart, the pilot, you know, I wouldn't be here. So yeah, it's really an amazing story, and I wasn't conscious for it, so to actually see, you know, some footage from back then is pretty cool.
I feel like this probably bonded you to North Dakota forever. Do you feel like, do we hold a little special place in your heart?
You do, and I think not just, you know, because my heart came from here, but every time I've come here, I've really just loved my experience. I think I've lived in, you know, San Francisco, New Orleans, Hawaii, Korea, Saudi Arabia, Thailand, Peru, Amsterdam. And I think the nicest people, kindest, most generous have actually been here.
And are you just saying that because you're here?
No, not at all. I mean, I wouldn't have to say that. And it's something that's really special here. That everywhere you go, it's just like I'm always floored by the kindness and generosity. So yeah, you guys have a very special place here. You know, not because of the surfing like Hawaii or the music like New Orleans, but because of the people.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to know, do you, seeing that story and knowing your story, do you approach life like every day with like, wow, I'm just so grateful to be here kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I even have it, you know, tattooed on my shoulder over here in Thai. Life is beautiful, you know, because even after I had my heart, I had a lot of difficulties. I had stage 4 lymphoma 2 times, the second time when I was 5 years old, and barely survived it. So I've had a lot of hard times in my life too. But the lesson is that, you know, whether it's has a lot of pain or suffering, existence and life, and the human spirit is always very beautiful.
An incredible, incredible life. Tell us a little bit about why you're here this week, and what's going on this weekend.
Yeah, so every year the Fargo Air Museum, National Air Museum, they have a auction, like a benefit. And every year they have as the kind of center an aircraft. And this year the aircraft is the F4, the very same jet that flew my heart from Fargo through a whiteout blizzard. They didn't get that part in there, that actually the pilot, because the cooler was in the navigator's seat, had to go without a navigator through a whiteout blizzard when all air traffic was completely stopped. So he flew blind through this blizzard and stopped in Utah to refuel, and then made it to Palo Alto, where my chest was waiting open for the new heart.
Such an incredible story.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
But I think as well, people will, although the jet will be featured, you will be featured as well. Will you be talking a little bit to people and sharing your story again?
Yeah. I was told, you know, to keep a speech in my back pocket, so I'll probably have an opportunity to speak about my life and what it means to me, and also, you know, meet the family of where the heart came from, and see Bob Beckland again, the lieutenant at the time, and yeah, it's always great to see those
You say
people.
see him again. When's
Yes.
the last time you saw him? And
10 years ago.
So what's that? Was that the first time you ever met him? And what was that conversation?
I met him when I was a baby.
Right, but
I don't remember that.
I mean, that you know, that you remember.
Yeah, so that was really great. And also meeting the family was even kind of more emotional because they had stayed anonymous for 20 years at that point, and we had no idea who they were. And then they actually came out and introduced themselves, and I got to meet, you know, their daughters and sons and the grandparents and everything. And it was almost like having a second family. It was really amazing.
Wow. Thank you so much for being with us today
Sure.
and sharing your story and living your life to the fullest.
Yeah,
You're
absolutely.
an inspiration for sure.
Thank you.
And once again, the annual Celebrity Dinner and Auction is Saturday, the 8th at the Fargo Air Museum. Doors open at 4:30. Thank you again so much.
Thank you.
Stay with us. Coming up, how Fargo police are working to unite the community in a unique way.